Okay, so if we're looking at exercise 5, I'm going to start on the left hand side. Né? En dan gaan ek sê sin x maal cos x maal tan x. And if you're looking at your set of skills that you can use, that tan x should basically jump out at you. So I'm going to go and write tan x as sin x over cos x. Sien julle saam? Okay, so belangrik vir my is dat jy die regte manier van skryf hier neerkry. You're not writing the other side as you go along. You are just manipulating one side at a time. So I'm just focusing on the left-hand side at the moment. Okay, then I'm going to go and say, then that simplifies to sine squared x. Okay, and then you could have gone one of two ways. You could have stopped there and said, on the right-hand side, I have 1 minus cos squared x, which I can write as sine squared x. And then you say the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. That's the one way to do it. So ek mos vir julle gesê you can meet them halfway. Or if you didn't want to do this part, then from here you just say, okay, I know what I need to get to. I need to get to that. And I can write sine squared x as that. So then you just go and write that out and write that is equal to the right hand side. That one would be almost the preferred one. Nee? Maar net daai een in die blokhakies, dit is ook 100% reg om aan die regterkant bietjie te manipuleer en te sê, okay, ek het nou aan albei kante 'n bietjie gewerk and they came down to the same answer. So the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. Okay. Let's have a look-see here. Number 2. I'm looking for a way to prove that that is true. Okay. So I'm going to start off by saying I can't see any of those two identities clearly there. There's not a tan x that I can write as sine x over cos x, and I don't have a clear sine x squared plus cos x squared is equal to 1. Do you see that? So now I have to look at the other two stuff. We don't have a fraction there. So we are left with only factorization. Do you agree? Okay. So which side are we going to work with? Left-hand side or right-hand side? Left. You see there's nothing to do on the right-hand side. You can't manipulate that. Okay. So ons gaan sê aan die linkerkant gaan ek faktoriseer. En ek gaan faktoriseer deur 'n gemeene faktor van cos x uithaal. Good, good. Now what do? Remember, for adding, you can swap them around. Nee? 2 plus 3 is mos dieselfde as 3 plus 2. Do you agree? So this fraction, this bracket will be equal to what? 1. And cos x times 1 is cos x, which is equal to the right-hand side. Okay, I want to jump to number 5, and that's the last one that I'm going to do with you guys, and then I'm going to give you homework for tomorrow. Okay, ek gaan vir julle daai 5 vanmôre 5 werk gee. But let's first do 5 together. Just on this. I want to remind you that our identity goes both ways. So dit is nie net dat sin kwadraat x plus cos kwadraat x gelyk is aan 1 nie. You can also write 1 as sine squared x plus cos squared x. Okay, you'll see there's one where you need to use that. Okay, maar kom ons doen gou eers hierdie ene saam. So, I have that tan on the right hand side that I can expand, but I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to start on the left hand side because I have a fraction here. So ek gaan hier 'n gemeene noemer kry van sin x. So to get from here to here, you multiply by 1, so the top will be multiplied by 1 as well. Hierdie een is 'n noemer, is mos op die oomblik 1. Do you agree? So to get from 1 to sine x, you have to multiply by sine x, so I have to multiply by sine x at the top as well. So that's sine squared x. Ooh, we need to remember our maths, eh? Okay, do you guys see that this part I can write as cos squared x? No? Okay, now you are allowed to go and look at the right hand side and switch those around a little bit. In this specific case, it will actually be a bit easier. Okay, so I'm going to do both. I'm going to show you how to carry on with the left hand side until you get to the right hand side. And then I'm also going to show you alternatively, you can go to the right hand side and then get those to equal to one another. Okay, so you don't have to show me this step. I just want to make sure that you guys agree. That cos squared x you can write as cos x times cos x. No? Okay. Now the reason I want to show you guys this one is we sort of have a identity for that as well. So as sin x op cos x gelyk is aan tan, dan is daai gelyk aan 1 op tan. Right? Because you just swap the two around. So sine at the top, cos at the bottom is equal to tan. But now because they're swapped around, you have to swap the tan around as well. So the 1 goes to the top and tan comes to the bottom. You see that? Okay. And I want to show you guys this because they do use that one often. And it is oftentimes a nice shortcut that you can use. So because this tan goes at the bottom, we are left with cos x over tan x, which is equal to the right hand side. Okay, so be on the lookout for cos x over sin x. Or I could have gone, so let's say you stop there. I could have gone right hand side is equal to cos x over tan x. And just because I don't like using fractions, I'm going to write it as this. Because sometimes that makes it easier. Okay. Do you agree that I can write tan x as sin x over cos x? En as jy deel met 'n breek, dan maal jy met sy resiprook. So ons het cos x maal met cos x op sin x. Do you see the tan came from the bottom? So that is 1 over tan. So basically it becomes cos x over sine x. Do you see that? Guys, see that? And this is equal to cos squared x over sine squared x. So if we stop there, then you could have said left-hand side equal to right-hand side. So enige een van daai twee metodes is reg. Okay, so